Alright. So, do we honestly need another Knee Deep in the Dead playthrough, despite all the walkthroughs, blind playthroughs, whatever there is? Well, the answer is yes. Although, we're gonna do something quite different. So, what are we exactly doing over here? So, we're gonna play this with respawn parameter. And if you don't know, well, the word itself, of course, is very much self-explanatory. So yeah, respawn is respawn, that's it. Um, and speaking of Doom, definitely the thing that everybody thinks about for first is Nightmare. So yes, in Nightmare there definitely is a lot of respawning happening, so monsters popping back up in random moments. So yeah, that's basically what it is. But over here, at least we don't have um, the crazy quick um, monsters. So those nightmare super quick reflexes and that type of stuff. It's not over here. So this is respawn and that's it. So there is no bells and whistles with it. So that's basically how it works. Although it is worth pointing out that then there are these quote-unquote rules for this playing style. And of course there is no actual rules, so I'm talking about in the sense that if you're interested of these competitive rules, so if you happen to be so good that you might actually at least try your best with world records, so what kind of rules do we have, or then you don't care about the records but you just try improve your skills, and you like improving your skills by doing your best and comparing your runs to like some actual record Doom God things that you find on the internet. So the rules, first of all, 100% secrets. Very once again, very self-explanatory. Just like in UV Max or Nightmare, although in Nightmare it's the Nightmare 100% secret, so that's like the subgenre in Nightmare runs. So yeah, 100% secrets, that's the thing in Respawn as well. But then there is another rule, and this is, in my opinion, the most interesting one. Go away. So that is the fact that I actually have to get 100% kills as well. And of course, more than 100% is fine. But yeah, that is very different because in Nightmare, you don't have to care about that. So if you're playing TNT Wormhole, you can exit that map with like a 2% secret. Kills. And nobody cares because it's not required. So that's very much of a difference. So I actually have to stack up kills from time to time because I cannot exit these maps too quickly. Although since I have been comparing quite a lot Nightmare and Respawn, I do have to point out, just to be clear, that I don't want to imply in any way that this would be tougher than Nightmare. So it's not. Nightmare is the tougher one, and that's it. It's definitely due to those super quick movement and reaction of those monsters. So Nightmare is the tougher one, and that's it. So I want to be very clear about that, because it's very obvious for people who have played these. But there are still certain things where this difficulty in respawn really increases, and it's not that suddenly this becomes tougher than Nightmare, because as I said, it's not. Please stop. So yeah, it is not. Why are all those guys in my way? So I better just clear these guys before I continue. Okay, yeah. So the comparison. So the one of the big differences in Nightmare, well, as I said, the super quick reaction time thing, that's the reason why this is the easier one and the Nightmare is a tougher one. So that's it. Nothing surprising over there. But what are the other differences? So one thing that is quite surprising is the fact that unlike in Nightmare, I actually don't have double ammo. So that, more than you think about it, it is quite catastrophical. Because remember that I have to get 100% kills. So just like UV Max player. But if I have to get 100% kills, that is maybe just barely okay, because UV Max guy can do it. But the problem is that quite many maps, I just cannot, exit that map with exactly 100% kills. Because, those maps are so chaotic. So, for example, in this map, there can be quite a lot of backtracking, although I have been relatively quick, so I won't have too much extra kills. But, if you would go for way tougher maps, you might not even fantasize about leaving that map. Wait, did I? Okay. Oof, I almost messed it up. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, what I was gonna say is that usually in these respawn maps, if those are quite difficult, those maps, you just cannot, in actual runs, you cannot exit with 100% kills. Those will be higher because those are so chaotic that you just have to do killing just to stay alive. But now, in those similar things to some degree happens in Nightmare as well. But at least those Nightmare players do have double ammo, so that at least they get something with that. So there, I don't know. I'm not Doom God at all, and I will never be. But my guess is that that is one reason why actual Doom gods don't play that much. Don't play that much respawn. The same way that you can see somewhat like quite a lot Nightmare runs and Nightmare players, even Tyson stuff to some degree. But in my opinion, I just cannot see too much respawn things. And yeah, there might be various reasons why people don't care for this setting too much, but I think that whether this is a factor or not, at least the double ammo, or lack of double ammo, I should say, does really do certain differences with your gameplay style. Of course, there are certain things that, especially if you play a lot with respawn, you notice that you can sort of. I cannot say that you make these maps easier, but at least you can find cool things to basically to survive, and once in a while you can actually soften a blow or whatever it's called. So these maps might not be as difficult as they first appear to be. And what are these? So, for example, if you have a map and you have there exactly 2 enemies, so you have there like a regular zombie man, and then you have there cyber demon. So everybody knows what UV Max player does, but in that situation, I'm just gonna say screw that. I'm gonna kill that zombie man twice, and then I'm gonna exit the map, because you know that's the way I get to 100% kills. So that's a very nice way, sort of abusing the rules. And speaking of these kind of funny features, there are other things that you start to pay attention when you play with respawn. So one kind of interesting thing is that with these maps, there is sort of like a semi-balance that you get with the difficulty. So what I mean is that if you have some super easy map, so I would say that this map is quite easy. In easy maps, um, uh, what was I saying? Yeah, so in the easy maps, these actually become slightly tougher, and the reason is that in this map, for example, I could easily exit this map with very small number of kills. So that means that to achieve that 100% kills, I have to sort of hang around here to stack up those kills. So for example, I killed these guys beforehand, so that now when I came back, I can get possibly extra kills, because 1 or 2 might have popped back up while I was away. Please go away. So, to some degree, these easier maps become maybe a little bit tougher. On the other hand, you could also say that it partially goes the other way around as well. So, if you have very difficult map, okay, well, respawn doesn't make difficult maps easy. That's everybody understands that, hopefully. Although I do have to get... Okay, 1, 2, and you're the last one. Okay, so the difficult maps doesn't become easy per se, but what does happen is that if you have like a difficult map, so for example this one, it is especially in these maps, it is obvious that I'm gonna get 100% kills. So in many maps, if it is relatively tough, and there is like a lot of backtracking. The 100% kills is basically uh, obvious, so you're just gonna get it, and that's it. Given, of course, that you survive. Yeah. Yep. I gotta say that when it comes to this difficulty overall, so uh, first of all, I gotta say I don't know how easy is it to notice. I mean, I'm Finnish, so I'm very laconic. I don't show much of any expression on anything. That's that's just very normal over here. So this definitely brings difficulty. So these really raises the difficulty over here. So clearing these maps is it's not like a cakewalk or walking park, whatever it's called. So this definitely raises the difficulty like significantly. And I gotta say that this is to some degree almost, I cannot say required, but very normal that when when you play many of the I wards, for some people it's basically all the I wards, that if you play those vanilla things, those are just not difficult enough. So you just don't get a lot of challenge in it. So I gotta say that this respawn definitely is one way, because when it comes to knee deep in the dead, even though I personally think that this is fantastic map set, and just like with many other people, my Doom journey did start indeed with knee deep in the dead. The fact is that these maps are just way too easy if you play vanilla. And of course, in some occasions, you might just wanna get like super easy thing because you're just so exhausted for other things that you just don't wanna get any other exhausting things rather than just getting something simple, and nothing wrong with that, of course. And by the way, don't flip that switch behind there. It opens this over here. So people go for different settings. For example, in Doom 2 or Doom 1, when they wanna get this feeling of these old maps, but they also wanna get like certain extra challenge, and you guys move away. So for many people, it is the fast monsters. So it is basically the thing that you just need the fast monsters setting, and then you will get to some degree tougher experience for that. So for me, I totally understand why fast monsters is so popular. And of course, for people who are a little bit maybe crazier, they go for the nightmare. But I gotta say that I personally think that this respawn is very cool alternative for that stuff. So yeah, this map, I gotta say now when I still remember, I gotta say that I have no idea how much my stuff makes sense because I'm just trying to survive over here. But this map is definitely the best example of the map where you just really have to be careful that you get enough kills. So in this map, If you remember what kind of mess that final room is, you understand that there is absolutely no possibility that you go to that final room and then figure out that you have to spend like 2 or 3 extra minutes. 2 or 3 extra minutes killing monsters because your kill count is not even close. That's just never gonna happen. So I gotta really stack up these kills. And speaking of stacking kills, one thing why I personally prefer with Knee Deep in the Dead, why do I prefer respawn over, let's say, fast monsters? I have actually beaten all these maps in fast monsters as well, but why is this so much better? I think in this very map is one reason. So if you think about the lamest things in Doom 1, or I should say Knee Deep in the Dead, Knee Deep in the Dead from Doom 1. So, what kind of things are the lamest ones? For me, it is definitely the labyrinths. So, I think those labyrinths are partially from Tom Hall. So, sorry, Tom. Yeah, those labyrinths are not very fun to play. Whether it is in this map or map 2 or map 4. So those are a little bit boring. But over here in this map I can actually skip those labyrinths. Okay, go away. Okay, I gotta probably run away because there are too many pinkies. Yeah, but I can skip those labyrinths altogether. Or yeah, in this map, and even in the map 2 and map 4, I mean, I cannot entirely skip those over there, but to some degree, yes. And even though I cannot, especially map 2, I do have to wander around there a little bit. The thing is, like, I thankfully don't have to wander around trying to find that one missing kill because some zombie man is just in the middle of nowhere in the labyrinth, for no reason at all, and you know, it just takes time and that kind of stuff. But since I have 100% kills and it doesn't matter where do I collect those, I might as well kill some other monsters twice and then skip the labyrinth entirely. Okay, now crap, my armor looks awful. Okay, I pretty much have to do a little bit of stacking of these kills. But yeah, that's one reason why I really like these respawn settings. Oh, holy moly, one of the monsters probably respawned behind me. That's why my health got chipped away. Okay, I was saying something about how much I like respawn, and I'm basically dead or over here. But again, whatever. Let's just keep going. Map 7. Give me that freaking armor. Yeah. So final map. Sorry. Second to final map. Yeah, I'm not making any sense anymore. So yeah, this is really putting up a putting up a fight. Although I do have to say that, in my opinion, the previous map was the toughest one with respawn. Although this is relatively high up there as well. So, it is so important when you're playing this map that you actually remember. Oops. Actually remember, at least for the most part, how these maps work. Like, few stumbles here and there, I don't care. But there are certain maps in other map sets. For example, Tangerine Nightmare, Go Area. When I'm playing that map, I just stumble around because I cannot remember where to go. But I remember for the most part, like the basic things. But a little bit of stumbling around here and there. Yes, I do it all the time. But in these runs, there is just no possibility for that. I just have to keep going. And it is so important that I remember just where to go, what to do, and remember also like the most important tricks. So for example, like certain non-tagged secrets that are very important or absolutely useless. You know, that kind of stuff. And of course, when it comes to I-words, when these are, for many people, including myself, these are almost like imprinted to one's mind. Of course, these are great, so that I can almost play these like a zombie, no pun intended. So it just helps so much because this is like a survival thing that I just try to somewhat survive, and it's not that I can pay too much attention what was the last key or what was the switch for some secret that I should be collecting or something, because the fact is that especially when it comes to backtracking, it's just not possible. You cannot backtrack. Like, you know, in a reality. Of course, technically, sure, you can. Oh crap, and I don't have enough kills. Well, almost. I was close enough. So yeah, once again, Nightmare guy. Good job. You were able to exit the map. I had to do some other stuff. Anyway, go away. So, okay, I have no idea what was I talking about. Whatever, let's just keep going. Last map. I'm sorry, Sandy. Your work was not very fun. So this is yeah. Let's just keep going. This is one of those maps that are a little bit boring, especially with respawn. Thankfully, it's not very difficult and that kind of stuff, but yeah, I have to get those kills, and I don't trust myself too much with the final room. That is actually one fun thing with the respawn, that it's kind of difficult in this map actually get 100% kills if you're doing with a UV max or something. If you remember the final room, it's kind of weird or something. But with the respawn, obviously that's not a problem. So I can get that. Yeah. This is actually going surprisingly quickly. I don't remember what is my fastest thing ever. I think the fastest one. Well, I'm gonna put it probably in the description, but I think it's like 27 minutes or something, which is just ridiculously fast. I think I have actually seen that run somewhere in DSDA or YouTube or something, and it's just really impressive. It's so chaotic. Of course, I don't even imagine pulling that kind of runs. Um, but you know, I'm gonna do my best, and I'm not gonna do any kind of actual records ever. But yeah, I think those kills are enough. So let's just go for that. I need 3 kills at the exit. So okay, get up, get up, get up, get up. 3 kills, fingers crossed. Let's get. Okay. Yes, that's it. And way more. Holy smokes. That was it. That was it. Oof. Okay, and it was under 30 minutes. Wow. This I don't remember. Maybe I think this might be one of my fastest in this. Of course, I don't care about the actual speed because once again, that's for Doom gods, and I'm not even in that conversation, and it never will be, and I'm fine with it. But yeah, this was my respawn thing, and I warmly recommend trying this. This is so fun setting, and for me, like the best things in respawn are, as I have said, that this just brings completely new things, new strategies. Like when you prioritize those kills, um, when you're sort of rushing very quickly through these maps. As you saw over here, this was like semi speed running thing, not actual speed running definitely, but like sort of really this really pushes you to go faster, way faster all the time. Um, so it kind of brings this kind of flavor, but not like in Nightmare, because that's just ridiculously tough. Of course, that is for some people, but this is just completely its own beast, and there are so many things. I gotta say, I probably have said quite a lot about uh, these these cool things in Respawn. So I hope that uh, my stuff made some sense. I gotta say, although at least um, at least this so Respawn, as I mentioned, the ammunition is definitely a problem. So one thing and main thing actually why I played knee deep in the dead is the fact that first of all Romero just throws so much ammo, and then most or very large portion of the guys are gunners, and of course yes they are hit scanners, so that's kind of punishing if they just keep popping back up, but at least they drop ammo. So in many cases, I assume, well, I guess I mentioned this for some degree, but some of the maps on Respawn are just completely impossible. Uh, but yeah, uh, I I don't know should I even keep talking because I'm just my brain is fuzzing because this is always so challenging but so fun runs. So yeah, I better call quits. So yeah, this is it.